Hello, Madara.
Hi, Dada. We are back
We are back.
on camera. We started filming series here in Bratislava in your beautiful playroom called The Spiritual Preparation of the Adult. And in episode one, we opened up this topic and the meaning, what we mean by the spiritual preparation of an adult.
Yeah.
Now, in episode 2, we will zoom in on the adult as the first prepared environment.
Yes, exactly.
And I am working with children 6 to 12 on a daily basis, and you are working with
Yes.
the age.
I am working with the age group 0 to 6. Yeah.
So our maybe lens could be from there
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah.
My true passion is adults,
Yeah.
so that's also where a lot of information comes from me. But overall, just that you understand the background a bit.
Yeah.
Where are we
Yeah.
coming from when we
Yeah.
speak about different things?
Yeah. But we would like to open this topic to basically all adults who are in contact with a child. It doesn't have to be professionally, it can be parenting or grandparents or any support role
Yeah.
for the child.
Okay, back to the topic. The adult as the first prepared environment.
Yeah. I
Please.
have a lovely quote about it. Actually, I forgot to write down from which book from Maria Montessori it is. I'm sorry. The first step an intending Montessori teacher must take is to prepare herself. So, what do we mean by this? Before any materials or classroom setup, it is actually the adult's inner state, which is the true starting environment for the child.
And I loved what you said when we had the little conversation before starting filming. You said about that when we think about the environment, we think about the physical environment, the classroom setup, the pedagogical materials. Can you just share what you told me before we
Yeah.
started filming?
Yeah, I think the word environment, we connect with the physical world, and it comes somehow naturally to us. So if we hear the word adult as a prepared environment, it sounds strange, but we would like really highlight that we can have beautiful space, like newly built school with big windows and expensive furniture made out of high quality wood and really professionally made pedagogical materials. But if we don't have really I would say the star in the space, meaning the adult who is ready and knows how to approach the child, the physical space will not serve us at all. There will be still something missing. So it's really crucial, the readiness, and we would like to elaborate a little bit today what we mean by the statement that the adult is also an environment, and what it exactly means to work on the inner state or to prepare our inner state.
So actually I do have one quote too.
Yes.
That it was said by Barbara Grazzini. It was in a conference a few weeks ago, and she was a speaker there, and she said, everything children do give us information, everything we adults do give children information.
Oh,
It makes
that's
it's
really
on the spot.
pointing. Yeah, it's pointing
On the
at-
spot
Yeah.
regarding this
Yeah,
topic, right?
I love
That
it. I love it.
whatever we do, really, it gives children information.
Yeah, yeah. It's connected also with this fact, really known fact in Montessori context, but for you listeners in general, we know that the mind of the child, especially in this life period from after birth till 6 years, is really different. It's really special. It has unique qualities, and it's much sensitive to all inputs coming in, and we even say that it is absorbing everything which is around the child. So in this context, if the child gets in contact with really worthy qualities of behavior coming from the guide, I think, or I even can say for sure that it will build, or the absorption will be of different quality than compared to behavior which we all in general dislike, like angry reactions or really unkind words, for example. And I think now we are coming closer to the core.
Yeah, I can just mention, you mentioned the absorbent mind in 0 to 6. And in 6 to 12 we talk about the reasoning mind. And however, the same applies to 6 to 12, that even though the mind is different, still this reasoning mind questions and will think, something's not matching up, something's not adding up here. She's saying one thing but doing something else, and the reasoning mind will figure it out. And be confused. Why the actions do not match the words.
Yeah, definitely. That somehow the behavior is not authentic. And we can feel it, even though we maybe, or the children cannot describe it or really formulate it. They will definitely detect the truth. So I would say that what we mean by the worthy inner state we want to get closer to or apply to could be described by using qualities like calmness, order, humility, patience, awareness. We could continue on and on, but we feel somehow that these are maybe like really important. So I would like to ask you, Madara, do you have some example for any of them? Or which one is sort of maybe more important than others?
Well, those are big words, and they don't really mean anything when you say them. That's what we speak a lot about in the classroom, that we want to unpack for children these big words that we, even as adults, often use on daily basis, but we don't live them, we don't tune into them, and we don't often understand what it means for us. So can you repeat those words one more time? And then maybe choose one and we can zoom in.
Yeah, sure. For example, humility.
Humility. I have an amazing example for this. It was prepared for another episode, actually.
Use it.
But I will use it now.
Bring it.
I will use it now. So I once heard somewhere, this is not my example yet, but I once heard somewhere the idea about C.
Okay.
So that C lays the lowest. Okay, but at the same time, all the waters of the world flow to it.
Okay, I love it.
So the humility of the sea to lay the lowest, and yet all the waters of the world flow into it.
Coming there.
So that's like a metaphor to what humility could mean.
I love it.
And there's one more example, maybe from our 6 to 12 environment, that we have seen, and I have seen people coming in the classroom and wanting to be in the center of the attention. And then that's the opposite of humility in a way, because you we know we have spoke a lot about guides and their place in the classroom.
Yeah.
That we guide children, we linked children to the pedagogical materials,
Yeah.
but the stage is theirs. And to be, humble enough to step aside and let children be on the stage
Yeah.
rather
the
than
center.
rather than taking up the stage and being the center of
Yeah.
attention.
And I think this is very crucial from the point that the method, Montessori method itself, is based on really scientific observation of the behavior of the child and analyzing what the child really needs, and then offering him the material or the activity which can help him to develop naturally and step back, like really giving the service, but then let him be the active one, let him be sort of in the center
Absolutely.
of activity and realization. So I really like it. It really connects in me with the task of the guide in the environment.
And if we go back to this metaphor of sea, it just came to my mind now in the previous episode, in episode 1, we spoke about the scientific preparation of an adult and spiritual preparation of an adult. And imagine you have done all these courses, you have done all these practices, and you have gathered years and years of experience, and maybe you are also feeling good with yourself, spiritually or, innerly, and then you just have to step back. With all this, like you are so big as the sea, imagine, but you have to step back
and be invisible.
And it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task to do that.
Yeah, and I would even add one more thing, because in the world there are many types of schools, and I would say the majority of schools are still public schools, and the style of approaching the pedagogical process is different.
Yes.
It's different. And so if we look at the perspective where the guide or the teacher is centered in the classroom, we can see that from the perspective of the public school system, it's crazy idea, that the teacher wouldn't be the center, everything, it depends on his shining presence and delivering the knowledge to the child. But we are talking from completely different angle.
Yes.
And from Montessori perspective, we are saying that it doesn't serve the child at the end. Because nobody can teach you anything. You are deciding what you allow to come internally and transform you. So basically the children are learning by themselves, which is really adventurous and sort of dangerous concept, I would say. But from this point of view, the ability to somehow dim your light, sort of, in purpose to allow the child to fully experience the activity, not get interrupted, and so on, it's necessary to be like the sea, be below and allow the waters to come to it.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Children come to you anyway. No worries to be left, abandoned by the children.
Exactly.
They need you anyway at the end of the day. Yeah.
So can we move to another example?
Yes,
Would you say?
please.
Yeah. So we covered humility. I really like the word order, which is really strong word for Montessori pedagogy in general.
Yeah.
Do you have something to share?
Yeah. Order.
What I would say.
Go ahead.
You can continue. We know that the child, especially in the life period after birth till 6 years, is trying to learn as much as possible about the world around him. And it's really important to have physical order everywhere. The child is actually living or is experiencing the situations. It means at home to have like system in the day and have dedicated spaces for changing nappies or feeding or sleeping, but as well order in roles of the people around him. And it goes beyond this to, let's say, the first group communities like infant community, which is sort of the first space outside of home for the child, where we offer especially ordered environment, physical environment, because we believe that when things are ordered, if things have its place, dedicated place, it helps to create order in the mind and orientate in the environment, which brings sort of feeling of safety. And so I wanted by that to highlight that I really believe that it's one of the crucial attitudes which we can offer to the child in context with inner state of the adult, because if we have order in our emotions, in our let's say behavior, in our principles, it somehow shows us as a coherent person. We are repeating things which have meaning, so the child can start to orientate in the behavior as well. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. And I would like to add here that order, and there can be a very orderly person on the outside, but then the other extreme of this can be perfectionism, and that's not what we are talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
We are talking about order, inner order and outer order, but when it is an extreme case, and I would call it a perfectionism, and that's the opposite of disorder, you know. So we don't want disorder, but we definitely don't want perfectionism. We want somewhere in between, that, you know, that it makes you feel safe, it makes you feel neat. And a very simple example, I think all of us can relate. When we clean our house, how do we feel?
Refreshed.
After refreshed, and also we feel ordered in our minds, in a way. Something kind of falls into places after cleaning deeply, you know, the environment where we live, that we live in.
Thank you. It's a great example. And it's really simple. We can, it's in our powers, you know, like to wash the dishes or to dust the shelves, or, you know, like put the things on their proper place, and it helps us internally. So we can imagine that how much stronger this effect will be for the little child, which is just creating himself internally as well. So thank you very much.
So maybe what I would like to elaborate here on is that we spoke about humility, and we spoke about order here, and I think I want to go a little bit deeper also into so how can we work on it, because we are looking at these big words and understanding them in each one of us understand them in different ways a bit and can relate to different ways. So how do we work on it? How do we understand that something is maybe not going well? You have any examples on this or any comments on this?
Well, there are many things which we could use as an example. From the perspective of the prepared adult, we could look, for example, on our physical appearance. We can look at our style of clothes which we are using. Is it washed? Is it looking nice, or is it really like old, or is it, let's say, improper style of clothing? For example, set of clothes for going for a golf, or if we would come to the classroom in I don't know, clothes for skiing, I think it would be inappropriate. We wouldn't say the person looks disorderly because it's fancy in a way, but it's improper. So the order can be stretched more. It depends from which angle we are looking at it. But I think really in context with the prepared adult, this could be one part of it. Of course, we would like to focus more on the inner world of the development of the character of the guide. So I think there are many things coming at the moment to me. I think one of the ways how to create more order is to talk slower, for example, to the child. I don't know if you agree with me, but the children usually are developing their language and their vocabulary, and if people around them, I mean the guides or parents as well, talk in slang fast, they eat the words, you know, or they use not the I wouldn't say formal language, but I mean the proper words, not, for example, the baby speech with the little ones. They enhance the chance that the child will understand properly and create order, learn the words properly. So this is one example, maybe not an obvious one, but I think it's related to order in a strong way.
So what I'm targeting here so you gave this example, and it's clear, it's very clear, the example, and it can be obvious, you know. However, so how do you get to it? Like innerly, so even deeper. I am a person, and I know that, you know, I have the scientific preparation. I do know that I should speak with the child slower. I know that I should prepare the shells. I know that my cubby should be clean if I want children to keep their cubbies clean. But it's not like that.
Yes.
So deeper, even deeper in this.
I think you always have to start with yourself, with the observation. Like, really, if you are in the classroom, like, being present and look around is one part, but then also look at you, you know, like, how do you behave? How, you know, like, what do you really do? Yeah, we are using the scientific observation for the children, but we should apply it to us as well and really be humble enough to state for yourself internally. You don't have to say it out loud, and to really examine, like, okay, how do I speak? How do I behave? How do I present material? How do I exclude or include everybody. And yes, I think there we can start with the observation, which can help us start to being aware of what we do and what we don't do. And then from there, we can, for example, decide, yes, okay, I will be practicing this week more like really a behavior which is more patient, like I will wait longer for the child to show me if he likes the material or not. So I will be not stepping in very fast, or I will not put the material back after him or so. Yeah. So this is something which comes to me, and
Yeah.
Did you have something else in the mind?
Yeah, more closer to what I meant.
So tell me.
Yeah, no, I say what you just said. It's already closer to what I asked.
Okay.
I would like to add that if we are unconscious about these aspects of what we should do or maybe shouldn't do, it's probably not really possible to relate, and we will not be able to change something. But if there is any inner feeling, or I like how Gabor Mate says, if there is tension, it requires attention.
Oh,
so if you have tension anywhere, either in your body or in your mind or in your speech, it requires attention. So in those moments we can catch, and all the big words that you mentioned, maybe that's the starting point, that we can catch that tension, we catch the tension, and we start exploring it, and we start examining it, and we become aware of it, and that's the point where change can start.
Sure, I love it. It's really new for me. Yes, I love it, actually, that everywhere where is tension needs attention. I will have to write that down. And when you were saying this, I really was thinking about another way how to start to work on yourself, or it can be a starting point, because this relates to this tension. We definitely, or people who are in contact with children, definitely had experience that some children are immediately somehow in our heart. Like we feel that we love them, we just feel that there is sort of connection maybe, or some sympathy. But there are a few children, or there are always some children which somehow we would say like they don't have to be here, although they didn't do anything wrong. And so we can maybe like put the needle in this feeling and really start to like analyze for ourselves, like, why do I feel like this? Like, what's this child bringing up in me? And we can find really interesting answers. We can start to really name maybe only our feelings, which probably won't be positive ones or pleasurable or nice, and they can help us, or they can lead us to us, like to closer to our inner state, and maybe even some hidden blocks or patterns of behavior, which are then the tasks to work on them. And this is basically the inner work. This is the inner process of development, of becoming the shiny diamond, as we were mentioning in the previous session.
I love this example. It's so true. I remember when I used to work in a toddler's environment for some time, and my colleague, there was a boy, and this boy triggered her, in so many situations, and she was so aware of it. So I remember how we did it, that it doesn't make you a bad person, if you are triggered. It absolutely doesn't make you a bad person. what we did was that if there were situations where she just couldn't, she lost it, she would come to me or to the other colleague, because we were 3 in the classroom, and she would say, I'm gonna go out for 5 minutes, please take over this child. There was some problems, he was not dressing, or he was lying on the floor, whatever, doesn't really matter what was it. But in many of the situations, she would come to us and she would say, I have to step out of the classroom, please go to him. So, and that's what we would do. And she would step out, she would calm down for 3-5 minutes, and she would come back in and continue, take it from there.
Lovely.
It taught
really
me
nice
a lot.
behavior, or solving the situation.
It taught me a lot, and that's what we do in our classroom with our colleagues. Actually, now we also kind of ask each other to step in those cases.
And support each other.
And that's, I think, that's already that's a huge step forward in your, in you as a prepared adult, being able to catch, or you say, put the needle, pinpoint those situations where you're triggered, where you feel tension, and then, and if you can't do anything about it that moment, it's okay. It's great still. You can just stop, pause, go even out if it's possible to calm yourself down, and reflect later on it. That's what we do with children also often, that we can't really reflect in emotions, in the pain, in the painful situations. We soothe the child, we take care of the child first, and then we come back to it in a neutral moment, in a peaceful moment. And that's the same. That's what we can do with ourselves too. Definitely.
And I loved when you were giving a really appropriate example as well, which is connected with this topic of emotions and being aware of what we are going through or what we are experiencing. You were mentioning last time that it's very important to be able to, after being aware that I am feeling some maybe even strong emotion, being able to name it and even share it with the children. So not being ashamed of it or not to suppress it in the presence of the children. I'm not saying that we should have an angry behavioral outburst in front of the children. But if it's really strong, and we maybe are feeling something, or we are going through some bigger issue, we are sad, for example, we just really can be truthful to ourselves and not to play anything in front of the children, trying to be in a different mood we are. And if the child looks at us, or even some children ask, we can really share that, I feel angry today, and and that's fine too. It's one emotion, and it somehow helps really the child, because he knows what's going on. He learns as well that it's okay to feel things and even to say it out loud. And and it somehow when we say it out loud also in a proper way, it somehow releases the tension inside of us, so we can in time overcome it, even during maybe the day in the prepared environment. So I think this is also important, to be truthful, be really authentic, I feel this, I'm not putting it on anybody, I'm not behaving based on the emotion, but I will not try to be now somebody else. This is what I feel, and Yeah, does it
I just want to make maybe 2 comments.
Yeah.
I recently heard again from Gabor Mate. He was talking about emotions, and we will actually come to an emotions episode. It's coming.
Yes, we will.
But I do want to mention it here because you brought it up, that there's a difference between anger and rage. Anger is one of the basic emotions, and it's really needed. Anger protects us. If we wouldn't get angry when someone attacks us, we wouldn't survive. It's a natural, very normal emotion.
Okay.
However, rage is not about, and anger is about the present moment.
Yeah.
You are attacking me, and it makes me angry, and I protect myself. Whereas rage is when you go crazy, and rage is never about the present moment, but about the past. Okay. Something in you triggers in me rage because maybe it reminds me how my mom was attacking me or my dad was attacking me. Okay. So there's these 2 differences also that to distinguish. Am I raging at the child? And actually because the child reminds me of my father, this boy, you know, or am I just simply angry? Because I really think that what's there to be angry about on children? Really, like if I think about it now, it must be what we call anger within a context together with children. There is nothing they really do to us, you know, in the present moment. I think it's rage that we are feeling, and that's not about the present moment. They're children, they're triggering in us some deeper memories, beliefs, whatever. And it's true that
I like the distinction.
Yes, I liked it too. I found it very insightful and useful in my work out there with adults and with children. And the other thing, you already mentioned it, but I want to say it one more time. It's true that in the classroom, I often, if I have to, for example, if children are through very loud and disturbing presentations, disturbing lessons, I would go to them 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and the 4th time I would say, guys, I'm getting angry, I'm getting really upset, and I don't want to be that way. And then we speak about it, we kind of discuss it, what's happening, what do they need, what do they need, why are they loud and stuff. But I think they appreciate me verbalizing this, and that they understand that it's okay to feel. Emotions are always valid. They're always valid. We always validate emotions. We are going already into emotion topic. So maybe let's wrap it up.
Yes, definitely. What's our goal to explain for this particular theme, that the adult is the first prepared environment, in the meaning that the crucial part of the adult's preparation is being aware, at least, what's going on in there. Because without awareness we cannot change anything or work on ourselves, really, because we don't know what's wrong or what's worthy to aim for. And these few examples we mentioned, partially going to the emotional direction, are really examples which can increase the quality of the relationship of the guide or the adult and the child. The humility, patience, calmness, orderly behavior, and the mentioned awareness are virtues of the inner state or of the inner world of the adult. The character traits, really, which are worthy to work on or to get closer to them. And we would like to conclude it that from this point of view, the self-preparation is not optional. It's actually foundational part of the preparation of the spiritual preparation of the adult. And I would like to ask you to read a closing reflection.
So what you can ask yourself, and we ask we should ask ourselves, if the child absorbed my inner state today, what would they be absorbing? Or in absorbent mind, we said is about 0 to 6, or even, but it applies even to any other stage of development.
It is influencing the child.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if the child absorbed my inner state today, what would they be absorbing? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dada. Let's finish for
Thank
today.
you. Yeah.
We finished for today, and we see
you soon
in the next episode.
Yeah.
Or in the
Bye.
previous episode.
Yeah.
Bye.